The topic is about equations under gravity. That is motion of equations of motion under gravity. Okay, so again these equations of motion under gravity is getting classified as two types. One is vertically projected and another one is freely falling body. One is vertically projected body, another one is vertically projected body. So once I am writing here the four equations of motion. First one is V is equal to U plus AT. Second one, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Third one, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. And finally, distance traveled by the body in anti-second SN is equal to U plus A by 2 of 2n minus 1. These are the four equations of motion. So how these equations gets converted under the influence of gravity, we are going to read now. Under the gravity indicates, so those equations applicable when the body is traveling in vertical direction, either in downward direction or upward direction. So we have, let's check those equations of motion simultaneously. Vertically projected, for vertically projected body, vertically projected upwards body is one case, and freely falling body. So these are the cases. First one is vertically projected body, second one is freely falling body. Okay. Right. So in the case of vertically projected body, so in equations of motion, what are the terms we have? The terms are first equation V U A T. In the equation of motion, first equation V U A T. V is equal to U plus A T. Okay. And second equation of motion, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So S is equal to U, already we wrote UT plus half AT square. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Next third equation, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Already these terms are repeating. Next, fourth equation, Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 of 2n minus 1. Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 of 2n minus 1. So, under the influence of gravity, either the body is vertically projected upwards or freely falling body. Let's check how these terms are get converted into what. So here also V U A T S. Okay. So in vertically projected body, in vertically projected body, V becomes V only. V becomes V only. Whereas in vertically projected body, U becomes 0. U is 0. Oh, sorry, Amma. Sorry. In vertically projected upwards body, V is 0. In vertically projected upwards body, V is 0. It should have some initial velocity U. Okay, and A becomes minus G. A becomes minus G. P becomes T, and S becomes H. Let's check once again. In vertically projected upwards body, V will be 0. Why V will be 0? Because whenever the body reaches the maximum height. So, what is vertically projected body? Vertically projected body is nothing but we are throwing a body in vertical direction. In vertical direction. So, we are here on the ground. So, whenever we throw a body from ground to certain height, it is the maximum height reached by the body, H max. This is the maximum height reached by the body. So, whenever the body reaches its maximum height, it is its final height. So, from here to here, the body is traveling with certain velocity. After reaching this maximum height, there will be no velocity. So, the final velocity here, final velocity becomes 0 if it has initial velocity. Okay, that's why the final velocity is 0 at maximum height. The final velocity of a body is 0. This is the case for vertically projected body. Okay, so final velocity at maximum height is 0. It should have some initial velocity U, and A becomes minus G. Why A becomes minus G? A is nothing but acceleration. G is also nothing but acceleration. But here A is acceleration by certain force, and G is by acceleration due to gravity. These both are acceleration. A becomes G because under the influence of gravity. G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. It is also nothing but acceleration. So acceleration is acceleration, but G is nothing but due to gravity. So these equations are motion under gravity. So A becomes G. Then why it is minus? Because the body is moving in vertically upward direction against gravity, opposite to gravity. So here minus sign indicates opposite direction to the gravity. So that's why A becomes minus G in the case of vertically projected body. So T becomes T, time only. S becomes H. So S is nothing but distance. Here H is nothing but height. Height is nothing but distance. Height is also nothing but distance. So this terms will get converted like this: V0 U A minus G T T S H. Let's check in this case. V, a freely falling body. So for suppose a body is at a certain height. From the certain height, the body travels in vertical downward direction and finally reaches the ground. So why? Before reaching the ground, it should have some initial velocity. So whenever the body is falling freely, the final velocity is, it should have some final velocity before reaching the ground. And there should be no record of any initial velocity. In this case, the initial velocity U is 0 because for a freely falling body, it should not require any initial velocity because of the acceleration due to gravity pulls the body towards the earth. So the initial velocity of the body is 0. Okay, for a freely falling body. And A becomes G. A becomes here minus G because the body is moving in very opposite direction to the gravity. But here the body is moving in which direction the gravity acts? In vertically downward direction. Always acts in vertically downward direction. So A becomes plus G, because the body is moving in the same direction of acceleration due to gravity. So here acceleration due to gravity direction and body moving direction both are same. So A is plus G, T becomes T, and S becomes H. S becomes H. You have to understand this. In this case, V0 U A minus G T T S H. In this case, V U0 A G T T S H. Okay, let's check these equations. For the first equation of motion, V is equal to U plus AT. So let's check equation 1. V is equal to U plus AT. Okay, so V at maximum height V is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to U. Here A becomes minus G in vertically projected body. So minus G T. So 0 is equal to U minus G T, and send this minus G T to this side. So U is equal to G T. U is equal to G T, and here G is constant. Acceleration due to gravity is constant. So T is directly proportional to U. And from this equation, I am writing this T is equal to U by Z. Important. T is equal to U by Z. Here T is nothing but the time taken by the body to reach the maximum height from the ground. This is nothing but time of ascent. When T is nothing but time of ascent. Time of ascent. Time of ascent is nothing but, note it, the time taken by the body. Here the body initially on the ground, the time taken from here to maximum height, it should take some time to reach the maximum height, and this time is nothing but time of ascent. So time of ascent formula T is equal to U by Z. And also in this case, initial velocity is equal to gravity into time taken. You can find it directly. Let's check in this case. First equation of motion, V is equal to U plus AT. V is equal to U plus AT. So V at a freely falling body, there will be V is equal to initial velocity is 0 plus A becomes G T. So V is equal to GT. V is equal to GT. Here G is constant, then V is directly proportional to T. And from this equation, we can write that T is equal to V by Z. T is equal to V by Z. And in this case also, T is equal to V by Z. If we check these both equations, time of ascent or time of descent, if you check these both equations, time is equal to velocity by gravity. Here also time is equal to velocity by gravity, but here it is initial velocity, but here in this case it is final velocity. Whatever it is, time of ascent, here T is also nothing but here T is nothing but time of descent. Time of descent. So if you compare these both cases, here U and V are initial and final velocities respectively, but whatever it is, its initial or final velocity, that's not a matter, but time is equal to velocity by gravity. Time of ascent is equal to velocity by gravity. Okay, now next, from here and from the ground, the body starts traveling and reaches the maximum height. So whenever the body starting from its initial position to reach the maximum height, it is traveling with a certain velocity u. Okay, so in the absence of air resistance, how much time it took to reach the maximum height from initial position? That is the time to travel the distance from maximum height to initial position. So the time taken by the body to reach the maximum height from its initial position is nothing but time of ascent, and the time of descent is nothing but for example, if this body is thrown vertical upward direction with some velocity, having some velocity u, and the same body after reaching the maximum height, it should reach the ground. With same time. Time of descent. So as I already said that in the absence of air resistance, whenever the body reaches its maximum height, it took some time. So the same time is taken by the body to reach the ground from maximum height when in the case of absence of air resistance. So we give the case that here the air resistance is absent, because of to do the calculations easy, you should not calculate that, you should not remind that air resistance. So if we also consider that air resistance, then the values will change. So we consider that the air resistance will be negated. So in the absence of air resistance, how much time it will take to reach the maximum height from the ground is nothing but time of ascent is equal to the time of descent. So time of descent is nothing but the time taken by the body to reach the ground from maximum height. The time taken by the body to reach the ground from maximum height. Time of descent. Okay. But in both cases, time of ascent and time of descent is equal to u by c. Here u is nothing but initial velocity. Okay. So second case, s is equal to ut plus half at square. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So let's check how this equation becomes when the body is projected vertical upward direction. S becomes h is equal to u t, u becomes u in this case, t right. So u becomes u in this case, t plus or minus half g. Here minus is due to g square. H is equal to ut minus half gt square. It is the maximum height reached by the body when the case is for a vertically projected body. body. Okay, and let's check in that second case. Second case, here also s is equal to ut plus half at square, half at square. So s becomes h u 0 into t plus half a becomes g t square, 0 into t 0. So negate that, h is equal to half gt square, which is equal to half gt square. So here g is constant, so that h is directly proportional to t square. H is directly proportional to t square. And also from this equation I can write that it is the h is nothing but maximum height. H is nothing but maximum height. So h max is equal to half gt square. H max is equal to half gt square. From this equation I want to get that t. So t కావాలి కాబట్టి 2h is equal to gt square, t square is equal to 2h by g, t square is equal to 2h by g. So that applies, t is equal to square root of 2h by g. Important formula. So t is equal to square root of 2h by g. Okay, or and this equation can also be written as t is directly proportional to square root of h. In both ways we can write that. So here h is considered as the maximum height. H is considered as maximum height. So h max is equal to half gt square by 2. Okay, and also we can also define this equation in another way. Let's check that. Here I am continuing this equation. H is equal to half gt square, half gt square. Okay, so h is equal to half into g into t square. What is the equation we got for the t? T is equal to u by z, right? So time of ascent and time of descent, u by z. So here it is t square. So u square by g square. Because it is t square, so u square by g square. So g and g gets cancelled. So then this equation is equal to h is equal to half into u square by g. Half into u square by z. So I am writing this equation as h is equal to u square by 2z. Here h is nothing but maximum height. H max is equal to u square by 2z, and also h is equal to half gt square, and t is equal to 2h by g. So from this equation we need, here I am writing h max is equal to u square by tc. From this equation I need u initial velocity. So u square is equal to 2gh. I need u, so u is equal to square root of 2gh. U is equal to square root of 2gh. Okay, and we can replace this. Here this is the case. Here t is equal to u by z for vertically projected body. T is equal to v by z for freely falling body. So whatever the case is, u or v, here we consider as both as same. H max is equal to u square by 2z. H max is equal to u square by 2z, and also from this equation g is constant, then h is directly proportional to u square. H is directly proportional to u square. Okay, in this way we can write the second equation. Clear? Next, third equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. V square minus u square is equal to as. So let's check this. In this case, v, the final velocity becomes 0, minus u square is equal to 2, a becomes minus g and s becomes h. So minus u square is equal to minus 2gh, minus minus gets cancelled, u square is equal to 2gh, u is equal to square root of 2gh. So this equation we already proved in this second equation. The second equation, right? U square is equal to 2gh and u is equal to square root of 2gh. Let's check in this case. Third equation, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. B, there will be b, so b square minus u becomes 0 is equal to 2gh. B square is equal to 2gh. B is equal to square root of 2gh. So if we consider these both the equations are same, here it is velocity square is equal to 2gh and here also velocity square is equal to 2gh. That depends upon the freely falling body or vertically projected body. So in the second equation of motion I said that here u square is equal to 2gh. So from this h is equal to u square by 2g, and here also from this h is equal to v square by 2g. So both are same. If you consider both are same, but the case is its initial velocity and that is final velocity. Okay, is it clear to everyone?